Quiet on the set. Hello, I'm Terry Cross, reviewing a science fiction novel from 2011 and a fantasy graphic novel from 2016. Pardon me while I whip this out. The science fiction novel is The Boy at the End of the World from Greg Van Eekhout. The fantasy graphic novel is none other than Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Story and screenplay by George Lucas, script by Christopher Serassi, art by Doug Wheatley. In my review of these two books, I will address what it is about science fiction fantasy stories that boys find so appealing, and why the creator of Star Wars, George Lucas, considers his Star Wars saga a fantasy story and not a science fiction tale. The breakdown on science fiction tales, they will be stories based on 1 to 4 things: space travel, time travel, artificial intelligence, and alien encounters. These are some of the things you'll find in The Boy at the End of the World, along with a boy named Fisher, who's in his mid-teens, the robot Click, a dwarf mastodon called Protein, and a mutant warrior prairie dog named Zapper. It's set in a post-apocalyptic Earth where Fisher finds himself being born coming out of an incubator chamber in a facility that's falling apart. Not knowing what to expect, he spies a robot, and when the robot sees him and says, "Fisher, I have found you," Fisher takes off running and the adventure begins. Fisher and his friends set off to find the last remaining Ark that holds other humans in suspended animation like Fisher was, and try to revive mankind before they're destroyed by renegade robots. It's a good read that I think middle schoolers will enjoy. This brings me to why boys like science fiction stories. They're imaginative, they have action, adventure, and usually some cool gadgetry. So, why doesn't George Lucas consider Star Wars to be science fiction? George Lucas studied mythology and intentionally designed the Star Wars tale to dramatize a struggle between good and evil. He starts each tale happening a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, not in the future, and not in any ways connected to Earth. The graphic novel, Revenge of the Sith, starts the same way and offers the long awaited answer to the questions from the initial Star Wars films from the 70s and 80s. How is it that Darth Vader is Luke and Leia's father, and who was their mother? Well, the protagonist in this story is Anakin Skywalker, who later becomes Darth Vader. His wife is Padme, who dies giving birth to twins after giving birth to twins Luke and Leia. Obi-Wan Kenobi is Anakin's trainer, who has been training him how to use a universal power called the Force and become a Jedi Knight. The Jedi Knights are enemies of the Sith, and the Sith Lord sets up a complicated plot to betray the Jedi and convince Anakin to come over to the dark side of the Force. It's a dark and tragic tale, which, if you're not familiar with, you should definitely look at the other Star Wars installments. This book is the theatrical film in graphic novel form, and will be a must-have in anyone's Star Wars collection, and a good read for middle schoolers and high schoolers. Until next time, may the Force be with you.